Okay, let's do this. First, we're looking at the three types of boxes here. Okay, we have the regular caged is the G cross C cross G shape. Now this is important for today's lesson. Notice a lot of that was just background. I tried explaining an easier way than doing the easy chord. So when you're in the G shape, you're looking primarily, it's the Aeolian box. So primarily we are looking at the sixth, the root, and the third. So here's your sixth, here's the root, here's the three. These are the three notes you're going to start the string shapes on. Start a string shape on 3, what's it going to be? 3, 4, 5. Start a string shape on root, what's it going to be? Root 2, 3. Start a string shape on the 6 is going to be 6, 7 root. Most of them are 3 notes long. In the long system, all of them are 3 notes long. In the regular cage system, one of them is 2 notes long, which is the A5-6. Okay, so in the long cage system, it's 5, 6, 7. So look, we got 3 cages to be concerned about here. We have the regular G cross C cross D tripentatonic. The tripentatonic now, I'm going to move up to a G-shaped C here instead of doing the real deal G here, right? Oh, did I get out of playing it in G? I'm sorry. We're going to play it in G. So it's the regular old cage. If I put Mr. Old Capo on here, right? Which is a real deal G here. That's your G right there, okay? Trust me. But we're going to have to access these notes. So the old cage, here's the G pentatonic. Okay, now let's do the diatonic. Okay, that was the play away. Let's make sure that was the short cage, rather. That was the short cage diatonic right there. Okay, so it's 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, and then warp up with the tuning warp, 3, 4, 5, then 6, 7 root. We ended up on root up here. Now if we take the long pattern, when we get to the 5, 6, we're going to go to 7 here. So it's going to be 6, 7, root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root, 2, 3, warp up 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, root, 2, root. Okay, that's with the long pattern. We're way up here. Oh, actually the long pattern is going to be, I'm going to draw another one because we went 7 root 2. So we started here 6, 7 root, and we went to 7 root 2. Remember, G goes to E in the word cage. C-A-G-E-D. G goes to E. The long pattern always takes you up to the next cage. So there we have another one. Another one, which is the long pattern. So we have 3 cages we're going to be learning. We're going to be using the regular cage, tripentatonic cage. Okay, so that we played that, right? And then we have the long pattern that we just played that goes all the way up to the 2. Now we have the cutout to deal with. The cutout pattern is right here. Alright? And when we get to the double 3, we're going to just abandon this 3 and start the string shape that starts on a 3. And as you know, root to 3 is not a CCAGEED advance. A CCAGEED advance would be, a caged advance would be root to 2. Right? Which would be something like, it's something that shared the 3 exactly, okay? So it would be something that shared that note. So The long pattern, the shared parts are 2 notes also, but they're a whole step apart. So we've got 2 ways of doing the cutout. We want to do, let's just play the cutout. So it's 6, 7, root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're good with that. Root 2. Now instead of hitting the 3, we're going to go start the 3 up here. Just start a string shape on 3. 3, 4, 5. B's the third of G, C, and D. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root. That is with the cutout. So there's a lot easier way to look at that cutout and cut and start the caged in. We're not going to call it a cut in because I actually have a cut in, a little like trombone slide that we can do where we can slide. We talk about blues scales here. We can actually slide to this 2, 3 and then back to the 2 and then pick up the cutout. That's kind of like a cut around kind of thing. Oh, there goes my neighbor. There's 2 people I'm concerned about, him and my wife, but I think they're both gone. So let's kind of move along here. Somebody went somewhere, but for the grace of God, there I go, huh? If I could only get somewhere on time, though. If he was me, he'd have 5 minutes to make about 4 miles. I don't think so. Not in this town. It's a nice day and there's lots of traffic. So let's look over here a minute. Let's look at the caged, what's going on with caged here. Remember, caged, we have the A, the short A is 5, 6. The D string shapes 2, 3, 4, G is 6, 7, and these stack on top of one another. So it's 7 root 2. This would be like the Locrian. The bottom string would be 7 root 2. The A string would be 3, 4, 5. The D string would be 6, 7 root. The G string would be 2, 3, 4. And the what did I say? The B string would be 5, 6, but it would be warped up. It would be moved over. That's the cage system. Now we're looking at modal caged over here. And it's it's almost exactly the same, but we've added 2 string shapes. So remember, the cage system is 7 root 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 6, 7 root. The CCAGEED system is, if you want to start on 7, 7 root 2, root 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7 root, 7 root 2. My neighbor's coming down the road again. He goes backwards sometimes. Only until he has to turn around, because he probably forgot his toothbrush. Very dedicated worker. So, what we have here is the CCAGEED system, which is modal cages. And I just played them on the piano. Okay, I can play them on the guitar. Of course I can play them on guitar. So it's root 2, 3 is the root, is E root here. Okay, skip 2. We skip 2 going this way. 1, 2, and we got the D2 system. Now why are we not skipping 2? E, skip 2. Why are we not skipping to the G6? I don't know. We've got root 2, 3, like that. Let's just do this. Then we're going to go from root, we're going to go to 2. 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to skip 1. We're only skipping 1 in this particular circle. And by the way, there are circles for this. Let's move me over here. We'll make it easier. The regular cage system. And I worked on these circles for you. Okay, you've seen this before, but you haven't seen it with the numbers. I'm simply adding the numbers there. So C, the fifth of C is G, the fifth of G is D, the fifth of D string shape is A, the fifth of A is E, but the fifth of the string shape, E string shape, is C, not B. So E goes to C. Okay, and the fourth is A, so it forms an A minor there, going backwards with the fifth of the fourth. Okay, so going backwards, we have C goes to E. We form a nice root fourth, fifth, a nice root chord there. So the fourth of C is the E string shape, okay, and its fifth is the G string shape, going that way. So any string shape you take, the fourth of the D string shape is A, the fifth of the G string shape is G. Now if you also look at the numbers make it easy. So let's make some noise about the numbers. We got 3 goes to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goes to 2. 6, 7, root 2. 2 goes to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 goes to 7. 5 going to 7. 5, 6, 7. There's only a third there. Now that's interesting. And then, okay, it's because the numbers work on the CCAGEED system. We don't look at the numbers on as much on the CAGE system. So let's look at the numbers on the CCAGEED system. 3 goes to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goes to 2. 6, 7, root 2. 2 goes to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5 goes to root. 5, 6, 7, root. Let's just pick up that an octave down here so I don't play across the screen. 5, 6, 7, root. Root goes to 4. Root 2, 3, 4. 4 goes to 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 goes to 3. It's important to do all of them. 7, root 2, 3. So in the CCAGEED system, we can look at the numbers advancing, and they advance four notes each time. So that's positive. So I think the wife's home, and I think we're going to have to call an early end to all of this. Isn't it wonderful? We're just starting to get to the gist of this thing, and I guess the crux of any lesson is the difficult part. This is easy. We're going to pick it up next time. See ya, and have a good day.